I was walking through the terminal after a trip, wearing the new Timex Pan Am Waterbury automatic ace. I run into an old buddy from my INDOC class. His first officer's wearing a Cartier Santos, so clearly a watch guy. I compliment the Santos, show him the Timex, and he takes one look and says, "That's sharp. Looks like an IWC." He's right. This $349 Timex looks a lot like a watch that retails for $5,500. So I flew with it this weekend to find out what you really get for a pilot's watch at 1/15th the price. This is Pilot Watch Gouge, where function in the cockpit meets obsession on our wrists. Just honest intel for pilots and watch nerds alike. Let's be transparent from the start. This new Timex is directly inspired by the IWC pilot's watch Mark XX. Put them side by side, and it's undeniable. Both are around 40 millimeters. Even the proportions match almost perfectly, and that first officer in the terminal spotted it right away. Timex clearly studied one of the best modern pilot watch designs and made it accessible. The IWC costs $5,500. The Timex, $349. That's more than 15 times cheaper, and that's where things get interesting. Because the real question isn't, does it look similar? Obviously it does. The question is, what are you actually giving up for that $5,151 price gap? I spent the past week finding out. At $349, the Timex Pan Am Waterbury Automatic Ace lands at the premium end of the Timex lineup, which makes sense if you compare it not only to their everyday models, but also some of their higher-tier efforts. When you open the box, you find the watch on a two-tone leather strap with Pan Am blue lining, a presentation box, a warranty card, and a manual. Nothing over the top, but appropriate for the price point. Up front, that blue sunray dial gives off a subtle metallic sheen that shifts a bit in the light. Printed high-contrast white numerals and indices, crisp, legible, and classic. An impressionist airplane motif at 12 o'clock, replacing the triangle and dots found on a classic Flieger-style dial, plus the prominent Pan Am logo at the 6 o'clock. Hands and markers are painted with a proprietary luminescent paint. A frame date window sits neatly beside 3 o'clock, balanced by the vintage Pan Am globe logo at 6. 41mm brushed recycled stainless steel, that's 13mm tall, 49mm lug-to-lug, held by a playful two-tone Pan Am blue leather strap that starts at 20mm at the lugs and then tapers down to 16mm. Timex claims that it's a quick-release strap that can be changed out without tools. This one wasn't. I needed a spring bar tool to change straps. The Pan Am logo etched on the crown is a fun detail. A flat sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating and water resistance to 100 meters. Which means taking a swim at the crew hotel is fine, but I'm not sure I'd do that with this strap. The movement powering it? Good question. A 21-joule automatic, though not explicitly named by Timex, is almost certainly the Japanese Miyota 8215 with a 40-hour power reserve, which also supports hand-winding and hacking. This is clearly a workhorse rather than a decorative in-house caliber. The exhibition caseback is printed with a Pan Am globe and logotype, but the movement has no showy finish. Let's be honest, at this price point, what you're getting is not glamorous. Before we dive into the IWC comparison, let's talk about why this collaboration actually matters. Because this isn't just Timex slapping the Pan Am logo on a dial for nostalgia. Timex has been building watches since 1854. That's 171 years of American watchmaking. And the Waterbury name on this case goes back to their roots in Connecticut's 19th century watch industry. When your grandparents said, "takes a licking and keeps on ticking," they were talking about Timex.
Timex, it takes a licking and keeps on ticking.
Timex's legacy is democratizing watchmaking, building reliable, functional timepieces for regular working-class people. At this price, this is expensive for a Timex. It's the first automatic they've added to the Pan Am-inspired line that they started in 2022, but it's not out of character. It's Timex stepping up in quality while staying true to that mission of practical, honest design. Then there's Pan Am, an airline that defined the golden age of aviation. Pan Am pioneered the first transatlantic passenger routes, ushered in the Boeing 707 jet age, and connected continents at a time when air travel was still an adventure. Pan Am was a signal of American optimism, the idea that the world was open to explore. That blue globe on the caseback isn't just branding, it's history. Pan Am introduced this logo in 1957, designed by modernist architect Edward Larrabee Barnes to symbolize jet age optimism. Those white lines across the globe aren't random. They represent flight paths wrapping the world. The shade of blue, known as Pan Am Blue, was chosen to evoke both sky and sea, calm, professional, and unmistakably American. Inside Pan Am, crews called it the Blue Meatball. During the Cold War, the Pan Am globe became more than a logo. It was a symbol of American reach and influence. Pan Am jets often landed where U.S. diplomats couldn't, quietly extending American presence through commerce, culture, and connection. It was aviation as soft power, and the world noticed. And when Kubrick used it in 2001, A Space Odyssey, that globe became more than an airline logo. It became a symbol of the future of flight itself. The logo evolved into a visual shorthand for optimism and futurism, long after the airline folded in 1991. Quick favor, if this is useful, hit subscribe. It helps me review more watches and keeps this channel going. You start realizing the biggest difference isn't what's on your wrist, it's what's behind it. The brand, the finishing, the prestige. All right, here's the new Timex Pan Am Waterbury Automatic Ace next to the real deal, the IWC Pilot's Watch Mark XX. Let's see where they match and where that $5,151 price gap really shows. Put them side by side and the family resemblance is obvious. Both feature clean Arabic numerals, a railroad track minute ring, and sword-style luminous hands. Each has a date window tucked beside 3 o'clock, and both emphasize at a glance legibility, exactly what a pilot watch is all about. The IWC measures 40 millimeters, the Timex 41. On the wrist, that 1 millimeter difference disappears. From arm's length, they're visual twins. Here's where the price spread starts to show. The IWC's case brushing is finer, the chamfer sharper, the polish deeper. It's luxury metalwork. The Timex finishing is good for $350, but under magnification, you can spot a few rougher edges. Still, the overall proportions hold up remarkably well. Both use sapphire with an anti-reflective coating. The IWC coats both sides. Timex just one, but in real-world use with the dark color of the dial, glare is minimal on both. Under the hood, they diverge. The IWC uses caliber 32111, technically in-house because it's made by Val Fleurier, a movement manufacturer owned by IWC's parent company, Richemont. It's shared across IWC's Ingenieur and Portofino lines, and you'll find variations in Cartier and Baume and Mercier watches. You won't see it, though. The IWC keeps a solid case back, while Timex gives you an exhibition window. The IWC's calf leather strap feels premium and breaks in immediately, featuring the brand's Ease Exchange quick-release system. The Timex strap promises the same convenience, but the one I bought arrived without it. It's stiff out of the box, though the Pan Am blue lining gives it a bit of charm the IWC doesn't try for. Viewed side by side, the Timex nails the spirit of the design. The IWC perfects the execution. One costs a couple of hours of flying pay, while the other costs a couple of weeks flying the line. And yet, in daylight on your wrist, the gap between them is narrower than you'd expect. I spent most of this week wearing the Timex Pan Am Automatic, working flights, plus non-revving to New York, to make a bunch of new friends at the watch events. And across all that, and the chaos in between, the Timex watch held up just fine. I saw an accuracy of around plus 6 seconds per day, which is pretty great for a $350 automatic watch. The manufacturer rates this movement at just minus 20 to plus 40 seconds per day. Funny thing, it was actually more accurate than the clock in my crew hotel. Pro tip, never trust the nightstand clock at a crew hotel. Obviously, the clock at the hotel had just been set a few minutes slow, but the irony of a mechanical watch keeping better time wasn't lost on me. Sure, the IWC's movement hides behind Geneva stripes and purling, but out on the line, both tell time just fine. Bottom line, you're getting comparable real-world performance for about 6% of the cost. Daytime legibility is excellent. The blue dial with crisp white numerals pops even in the bright glare through cockpit windows. At 41 millimeters, it's large enough to read at a glance. I never needed my readers to check the time, though the date window is tiny enough that I still needed my glasses to confirm the day. Lume? It's okay. Functional, not flashy. On that pre-dawn crew van ride, it glowed just enough to read the time, but under cockpit lighting at night, it fades fast. You can still read the dial thanks to the high-contrast printing. It's a pilot watch with vintage-inspired lume that prioritizes classic aesthetics over maximum brightness. If you need serious lume for night ops, you might consider a dive watch. The watch isn't heavy, but its case height lends it a touch of Tudor vibe. The leather strap is attractive but stiff. The watch tended to slide around my wrist unless I tightened it one notch too far. After a few days, I noticed slight fraying near the end. Not a deal breaker, but I'd probably upgrade to a higher quality strap or a NATO if I planned to keep flying with it. I wore it through airports and at New York Watch Week, and it got attention from both pilots and collectors. A mainline flight attendant literally squealed over the tiny airplane embossed on the strap. A mainline first officer called it understated and very cool. At the wind-up and watch time events, even the serious watch crowd gave Timex credit for nailing the design, just with different kinds of enthusiasm. Wind-up felt like NASCAR, watch time, Formula One. From rainy pre-flight walkarounds to crowded Manhattan bars, the Timex handled everything I threw at it. Exactly what you want from a pilot's watch that's meant to fly, not hide in a safe. After a week flying with the Timex Pan Am automatic, here's what I think. I like this watch. Thumbs up. Sporting the logo of a long-gone airline will either feel iconic or ironic. That's up to you. If you love the classic pilot watch aesthetic, but can't justify spending well over $5,000, this Timex gets you about 80% of the look for about 6% of the price. You're giving up the luxury finishing, the in-house movement, the brand prestige, and the resale value. But what you get back is real visual impact, solid accuracy, and a watch that made a pilot wearing a Cartier stop and say, "That looks like an IWC." At $350, it's expensive for Timex, but not unreasonable. You're paying for a legitimate automatic movement, a sapphire crystal, and a design that genuinely punches above its weight. If this came from some random micro brand, I'd call it just a cheaper copy. But Timex earned the right to make this one. And this time, they nailed it. They dialed in the proportions, the color, and the vibe, and delivered a mechanical pilot's watch that actually lives up to its heritage. Is it 15 times more watch? That depends on what you value. Luxury watches like the IWC are objectively better, boasting finer finishing, in-house movement, and luxury prestige. But this Timex delivered everything I actually needed on the trip. And that's the point. Sometimes good enough at $349 is better than perfect at $5,500, sitting back home in a safe. The Timex Pan Am Waterbury Automatic Ace is an honest homage. It's not trying to fool anyone, and it doesn't have to. It captures the design and heritage of a true pilot's watch for a fraction of the Swiss price tag. So, what would you choose? A luxury pilot watch for thousands, or the $300 to $50 Timex that punches way above its weight? Drop a comment and let me know. If this review helped, hit like, subscribe, and check out more from me here on the channel. This is Pilot Watch Gouge. See you on the next leg.